hey. How we doing today? Alive and alert on the north side of the dirt. I'm here for you on a Thursday. You're welcome. Lots to talk about, and we're going to talk about a lot of it, if not all of it. This is a place where you come to learn about comics and stuff. This is a place you come to when you want to hear about movie reviews. And this is a place you come to when you want to hear a unique African American perspective. And there might be a little bit of sports. A couple other things sprinkled in there. Hello and welcome. How the hell are you? Grand Madam say, hey, D-Real. Hey, Grand Madam. How you doing today? And Nancy saying hi. Hey, what's going on? And I feel like Miss Sally from Romper Room. Y'all remember Miss Sally from Romper Room when she'd hold up that magic mirror and start saying everybody's name? I was telling my wife the other day about that, and she thought it was quaint. Y'all remember Miss Sally in Romper Room? So I mean, maybe that was boomers going out, Gen X coming in, maybe. But she Gen X too. She on the tail end of Gen X. She's still Gen X. Anyway, Theo B in the building. My brother, what's going on? Theo in the building, and of course, Kamoyo King. So technically that's a quorum. Because I see 2-3 more, but they kind of hanging back. It's fine. Y'all mosey there. Hey, these are in the building. See, y'all pulling up. Y'all know what time it is. Cause I'm gonna be edutaining today, and I told everybody I was gonna be edutaining today. I'm gonna get to the main thing. I'm gonna make the main thing the main thing. How about that? I will make the main thing the main thing, and then we can get back to the stuff that ain't the main thing, so to speak. Grand Madam say Miss Sally was Miss Nancy's daughter. Of course, I watched Miss Nancy on Romper Room. See? It what it is. I Miss Nancy was Miss C. Just learned that today. I did not know that at all. Thank you, Grand Madam, for schooling me up, for dropping game. You know what I'm saying? That's why, man, you can't act like you know everything. You feel me? Because it's always going to be somebody out there that knows just a little bit more than you do. You know what I'm saying? So that's a great segue into what I want to say, or actually what I want to get into. I'm thinking about all of the T'Challa talk. Yeah, let's do that first. Okay. And a lot of people out here, I don't know if they think it, and it's no shade to Black on both sides who posted on Twitter, because they sound like on any other day they're a pretty cognitive, pretty rational, pretty on point person on the African American social issues tip. Bad takes come in when we try to mix two things that don't go together, or we try to make something that isn't popular. Case in point, y'all know who that is? Do y'all know who that is? Okay, I'll help you with the heavy lifting. That there is Breon Markoff. He is the brother of Tara Markoff, aka Tara. Yeah, that Terra, who was briefly a Teen Titan and betrayed him. All right. Brion Markov is the ruler of Markovia. Now, there have been people that have tried to usurp his rule. There have been people that have tried to depose his rule. There have been people that just straight up said, we don't want you to be the king no more. But there was never an active campaign by fans or comic book people to remove Brion, or to say Brion's stories would be a lot more interesting if Brion wasn't a king. Okay, how come Brion couldn't be a member of the Outsiders and a king? Oh, wait, he did do that for a little while. All right. So nobody on the by and large tip is saying he shouldn't be the king of Markovia. Or nobody is saying that is such an outdated form of government. We don't like it. We think there should be a democratic republic of Markovia. Okay. When you apply factual things to fantasy entities or fanciful entities, ideas, or concepts, number one, you offend the fans. Number two, it makes you sound as if you only deal in absolutes. Why can't you be fluent and say, we can have a king here, we can have a king there? Dude, it's fanciful. It's not real. It's fictional. This is a case where bringing somebody back down to earth and letting them know, hey, man, this is fictional stuff, bruh. Calm down. Kind of like when I tried to have a conversation with David Banner and asked him about Black Panther and what his opinion was. And he said he didn't have one because Black Panther is a fictional character. And it seems like what Black on both sides was doing on Twitter today was the opposite of what David Banner was doing. If somebody asks you about something fictional and you ain't got no opinion about it, then you don't need to start bashing it if you don't have an opinion about it. That's just my take on it. All right. But the crux of what I'm trying to say is nobody ever said we need Brion Markov to get off the throne. Right? No, nobody ever said that, did they? Okay. Let's go to another king. That guy's a king too. That guy is an unbalanced king. That guy is a king who one day might be helpful, then another day might be a whole entire problem for everybody you live around. He might bring a whole tidal wave to your town. Okay. Have there been any fans that said that guy shouldn't be the king of Atlantis anymore? There should be a democratic republic of Atlantis. Atlantis should have a democratic council that makes decisions for him. Imperious Rex. Nobody ever said Namor shouldn't be king based on. Now, there have been stories where he wasn't the king of Atlantis. There have been stories where his throne got usurped. But never has there been an open campaign saying he shouldn't be the king of Atlantis. Now, the argument could be presented too that being a king, at least in terms of comics, is always equated to a despot, a tyrant if you will. Nobody has a problem with Dr. Doom being king, emperor, lord of nothing because he's a bad guy. So bad guys are the only people who can be kings and sit on a throne. This again, bear in mind, we talking about fictional entities. So my fictional entity can rule a fictional kingdom in a fictional universe. Why do we have a problem with that? We shouldn't. We shouldn't have a problem with that because the fanciful is the fanciful. The real is the real. Dr. Doom ain't put it to no committee about who should be running, ruling, and overseeing the affairs of Latveria. That could probably be hazardous to your health if you did suggest that to Victor Von Doom. Again, Sam Ting. And I like how they took that Aquaman and put him on that Black Adam throne. See what you can do with action figures. Anyways, though, nobody has a problem with Arthur Curry being the king of Atlantis in the DC universe. Again, there have been stories where he was deposed, usurped, and all manner of things, blah, 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 so on and so forth. But never has a bunch of people written in, never have a bunch of people tweeted, never have a bunch of people been on Quora threads talking about he shouldn't be the king of Atlantis anymore. Why is he the king of Atlantis? Why doesn't Atlantis have a democratic system ruling them? Nobody said that shit about Atlantis because it sounds stupid in a fanciful world. I can have whatever form of government I want to have in my fanciful world. So why, pray tell, when we talking about that dude over there, it's always got to be, he shouldn't be on the throne. You know, Ta-Nehisi Coates addressed it, yes. But bear in mind, that is, get ready, Ta-Nehisi Coates' iteration of the character. That should not be, that's just the way it is. Again, T'Challa has had pretenders. T'Challa has had usurpers. T'Challa has had the people of Wakanda themselves on more than one occasion either say, we ain't got faith in T'Challa to be the king no more, or we don't like him being on the throne. We want something else as ruling us. You don't see that with any other character. Do you see people? Hey, good point, D. Diesel. Asgard and Inhuman. You don't see nobody saying, Odin need to get off the throne. I mean, that's more alien, the two that you're mentioning, but at the same time, there's nobody saying Blackagar Boltagon should not be the king of the Inhumans, should not rule Avalon. Ain't nobody saying Odin or King Thor or anybody. Just that Negro. He don't need to be a king. Now, when enough people cry out and the BS flies and we say, all right, we don't want him to be the king no more, then it's the opposite. Everybody starts pissing and moaning in the other direction. How come we can't have a king? Well, how come we can't have... Bruh, it's petty and childish. Okay? Whoever's writing that day, That's what it is. If they make them white, that's who's writing that day. You see what I'm saying? So, and that's a lot of reason why some people, had their little issues with Jonathan Hickman. But you could do like the rest of us did and just choose not to even fool with that story because it's nonsensical, in our opinion. So, a king is a king is a king in a fanciful world. Next thing you know, I mean, it sounds silly, but next thing you know, we gonna be trying to depose the Queen of Hearts. We gonna be trying to depose King Kong. Just gonna call him Kong. He can't be King Kong no more. I mean, that's a little over the top, but you get where I'm going. You're picking up what I'm putting down, so to speak. No more kings until there ain't no more kings. Then you're going to want kings. How come there's no kings in this fantasy world? So if King Arthur come back, he got to have a democratic council to help him rule. He had Merlin, that wasn't enough. Arthur Curry got Vulco. You know what I'm saying? Black Panthers had a number of advisors, most prominent of them being Zaravari, Zuri, depending on what version of T'Challa we talking about. Bottom line, ain't no problem having somebody help with the ruling chores. No problem with that. No problem at all. The problem comes when you start applying real life situations to fanciful applications. That's all that is. Black on both sides ain't right. Black on both sides ain't wrong. Black on both sides is just applying the wrong talking points to this conversation. To say a fanciful regime should be democratic because in real life, that's what it should be. We pick and choose when we have our fantasy. We pick and choose when fanciful applications matter. It, very simply put, is whatever the writer says it is. If the writer say Robin is bi, then guess what? Robin's bi. At least that week, that month, that year, that run, whatever. You see what I'm saying? So, to try to say, no, all these 80 years he been straight, how come all of a sudden we just want to pivot and go that direction now? Because writers, fam. Because writers do what they do. You can't tell David Pepose not to write Speed Racer with an attitude. Because he's kind of, that stubborn, arrogant kid who thinks he can beat anybody in a race. If we make him smart, calculating, strategic, that goes against what the character is. You know what I'm saying? When we try to change qualities and things like that, let it be what it is, man. Just because you ain't happy with it don't mean thousands of other people ain't. And that ain't to say he can't go on adventures that don't have anything to do with the throne. Why he can't do both? He's in the Avengers. And it really ain't no attempt to throw no shade or be disrespectful towards nobody. It's what I do. Edutainment. Plain and simple, man. Think about it before you interact or go out. Woo, that's super bright. Goodness gracious. Down with the volume. Okay. All right. That was like a miniature sun, y'all. I don't want. I would say, okay. The ill said, mind y'all, after he put that out there, he didn't bother responding to any comments. Yeah, I know some people that could benefit from that approach. Oh my goodness. Say facts. You can say what you need to say and keep it pushing. Okay. The fact that he got, well, what could he say? Honestly, how could you climb in there and clean that up? Honestly, you done already, like I said, put a real life take on something fanciful. Just like they use that excuse and say it's a fictional character. It's a fictional ruler. Why are we upset that he is a monarch? Or why do we, I ain't gonna say upset because I don't know what the man was feeling, but why do we feel the need to iterate this in public? And that's all I'm saying. No, like I said, no shade, nothing crazy. Just like I said, edutainment. Paul Martin is in the building. Oh, Drake, sir. In recent years, I want to say about 3 years ago, they announced Tim Drake was buying, and I think a little later they was like, wait a minute, he changed his mind. He ain't buying no more because too many of y'all went off. So that there. Hey, it's Maxine. How you doing? Happy Halloween to you too, young lady. Yeah, it is extremely odd. You know what I'm saying? And but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? When you think about it, people want to have an opinion. People want to sound intelligent. People want to sound well versed. People want to sound, you know what I'm saying? Like they really know what they're talking about. And sometimes they don't. I need to grab an image real quick because we about to get into some fun stuff here in a sec. Go to my Canva. La ti da ti da ti da ti da. Yeah, got a lot of videos. I think I might have like 3 videos I'm gonna do tomorrow that are action figure based. So be looking. Real quick question, guys. And it's childishly simple. But it's going to be a conversation. Y'all know it's going to be a conversation. If it's me, it's going to be a conversation. Okay. Now, here, ladies and gentlemen, is my question. All right. We can call it what we call it. But quick question for you. Not a question of which one of these presidents is the better president. Not a question of which one of these presidents was the worst president. Okay. Between those 3 presidents, you got roughly about 16 years of presidency right there. Between the 3 of those guys, that's about 16 years of presidency, right? Close to it. Or yeah, about 16 years. Yeah. 8, 12, between 12 and 16. So why do you vote for a president? Very simple question. Why do you vote for a presidential candidate? Why do you vote for a presidential candidate? That's not a rhetorical question. I'm actually asking a question. What? Why? When you voted for Obama in 08, if you voted for Obama in 08, why? If you voted for Biden, why did you vote for Biden? And I ain't gonna ask about the bottom because most of y'all that rock with me don't rock with him. So, but if there's one or two in the skulking in the comments, go ahead and put it out there, all right? Because this isn't the political conversation that you think it's going to be. Okay, Kamoyo said for representation. Okay, you vote for a president because you want him to represent what exactly? What is it you want that president or that presidential candidate to represent? I know the people, but in what way? What way do you, as the people, Kamoyo, want to be represented? Since you're the only one that's playing tonight. Don't nobody else want to play. And it's cool. Y'all can listen and learn. Whenever. I mean, what? I mean, because here's the thing. A president is a human man, but we hold that human to a higher, if not damn near impossible standard. And when you leave them to their own devices to discern the best way to, quote unquote, or quote, represent you, if you are not clear about what you want, you get what you get. If you do not vote in the way of what I'm getting at is this. Me, I don't vote Democrat. I don't vote Republican. I vote for the candidate that claims they gonna do the most stuff for me where I'm at. You see what I'm saying? Because, question, what did Barack Obama do specifically for African American people in the United States? 2-term president, but as we can see, 2 terms don't mean good. Just mean manipulative cronyism. And I'm not throwing shade. I'm asking seriously. You at your level, at the money you make, where you live, what you're doing, what did Barack Obama do for you? And how did that stuff affect you? Because that's what we're concerned about with our president, policies, and Congress and the Senate, House. You know what I'm saying? We're concerned about how it's going to affect us. Case in point, right now, Cheeto Man done shut the government down. All right. And claims or his people, his cronies, they trying to spin it to make it sound like it's the Dems' fault. Because they want what they want. Don't you want what you want? It's a democracy. It's supposed to be for the people. not the rich, not the poor, the people. Unfortunately, it don't be like that. We Obama freed folks put away on BS charges like my cousin. Okay. Again, that affected you directly. Do you see what I'm getting at? That's why I used Obama as the example, because I know if I would have used Cheeto Man as the example, that would have been met with all manner of rancor. That's why I'm trying to say everybody, including African American people, didn't get what they thought they should have got out of the Obama run. Period. That's all I'm saying. We can debate it until we blue in the face, but you can find 10 black people that love him, just like you can find 10 black people that can't stand it. Okay? And they ain't conservative. Just they felt stuff didn't get done that they felt should have got done between 08 and 12. So this is what I'm trying to say. Right now, we are in a situation in this country where, what's the best way to put it? Anything, literally anything, can be disseminated publicly. And before it's taken through a process of fact checking or verifying, if it even is, we assume things are truth that are not. We get out of context videos that illustrate a point. But because that video there's one excerpt extracted from an entire video, you don't get the context of what that video truly conveyed. Just that one part. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is effing manipulative. If I find a video of a man and he just reared back out, pow, slapped the woman across the street, but in the first 2 minutes of that video, we didn't see where that woman was smacking his child around. You know what I'm saying? We take that part out. We want to vilify him. So we take the context out that's going to explain the entire story. That's what media is now, ladies and gentlemen. Media is a piece of clay to be manipulated and shaped and formed into anything the user's intent wants it to be. You heard what I said, right? The user's intent. That is what you need to think about when you watch videos. And then you go and you regurgitate them and share them and send them to everybody and go, look at that. Look at that. Did you see that? Did you see what they said in that video? Right? Are we putting them videos through the rigorous process of vetting them and verifying them and making sure it's not out of context or none of that? Or do we just look at that video and go, oh, I gotta get share? Think about it. And right now, we can ill afford to be going off about stuff that is a bunch of hooey. You know what I mean? And a lot of us are incensed and angered and that kind of a thing. Now, I ain't saying don't be incensed and angered. I'm saying know what the hell you incensed and angered about. Be able to articulate what you are incensed and angered about. And for how many years have I been saying when it comes to media, check your sources, check your sources, check your sources, check your sources. There are people out here who purposely put misinformation out. Case in point, Damson Idris is the new T'Challa in the Black Panther franchise. He might be, but until it's announced officially, not by no excited ass social media content providers trying to be the first ones up and running with the story, damn whether it's accurate or not, I just want to be the first one to put this story out right here. You're the first one to put it out, but what happens when your stuff is fraudulent or, like I've been explaining, a bad take? We've all had bad takes on a topic. We're not immune to it. Oh, and thank you, sir, by the way, for that super duper sticker. I must be preaching good this morning because I got a tithe. Hallelujah. I'm playing. But anyway, appreciate it. Thank you, and thank you. Also, he might be a grown ass to child. No, thanks. You get it. You get it. I mean, everybody fired it. Yes, finally. Check your sources. Verify and vet them. Okay? Me personally, I like to go to an impartial party. Smart News, BBC, NPR, there's like 2 or 3 others out there that they don't have a reason at the BBC to lean Democrat or Republican. All they want to do is tell you the story. That's somebody who ain't got no personal interest in it. So they're not going to spin the story like Fox and CNN and OAN and a couple of the other places because I want to lean towards this party and make this party sound good. That's all politics is, y'all. Hype men. They got hype men hyping them. All these people that's up Cheeto Man's butt talking about what a great job he's doing. Meanwhile, grocery prices continue to soar. Oh, we're doing great. But the government shut down. We're doing great, but the government shut down? Oh, that's the Dems' fault. What's more important, being right or keeping the government shut down to prove the Dems are wrong? The people aren't Democrats. The people aren't Republicans. They may lean towards them, but those parties are merely hype men for people who may or may not necessarily have your best interest in mind. So, at the end of Obama's run, the second one, did we do a tally of everything that he personally did that worked for you. Because in the end, at the end of the day, it's got to work for you. Because everything ain't going to work for everybody. We always, and I've never understood that unreal expectation that people have towards presidents to do everything. You know they saying a lot of that stuff to just get elected. They have no intent on doing it. Some of it. You do what's doable because you're only one person with power, and there are people working with you in 3 different branches to implement what you want to happen based on what the people told you. See where it's going? They want to happen. What happens when you don't get what you want? When a lot of promises were made and nothing was delivered on, or the stuff that really needed to be delivered on wasn't delivered on. Because, I mean, overall, we can say what we want to say about Obama, but it's still people calling the Affordable Care Act Obamacare in 2025. It must have worked on some level. You know, for some people. Other people, they had great plans in place, and then Obamacare came in and was like, F your plan, buddy, you're doing this now. Because it works for everybody. Okay? There are things being implemented right now that don't work for everybody. Oh, but we just supposed to suck it up, keep a stiff upper lip, and just deal with it? Because I say this right now because if you weren't getting what you wanted out of your government, your president, whatever, in 2025, what do you think is going to happen in 2026? And that's all. Again, no shade. I'm not trying to throw shade. I mean, when something is said and it drops down in you and you're like, and you have a very strong emotional response to it, do you ever ask yourself why? Why do I have a strong emotional response to this? What I'm getting at is this. When I vote, and you done told me you're going to do A, B, C, and D, and A, C, and D apply to me, I can FUX with you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know how to write to my congressman. I know how to ask, and you know what I'm saying? I understand how the process works. I've been understanding that process since the 4th grade. So I know the power of being able to write a letter and get a response back, because in my 4th grade class, we wrote a letter to Jimmy Carter, and Jimmy Carter wrote us back, or somebody or Jimmy Carter's press secretary. We got a letter back from 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, is my point. Now, a little bitty old black inner city elementary school in Kansas City, Missouri got a response from the office of the President of the United States of America? Yeah, we did. And these are the kinds of things that let you know the current government, the system, not the cabinet members or the people, the system of government that we have still works. It needs to be retooled, not thrown out and then put in a monarchy / tyranny in, because that doesn't work for the majority of people in this country. We don't want to live under a tyranny. The president just recently visited Korea and got a Korean crown as a gift. Of all the things in Korea that you could have given to the president of the United States, a crown is what you thought might be an ideal gift. Korea. Bruh, I say all of that to say this. Politics are flawed. Politics sometimes hoist us on our own petard. But until we get another system that works for everybody and not just rich people, we gotta make do with what we got, and we gotta fight for what we got. So shouts out to folks like Jasmine Crockett and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. And all them other ones is out there trying to make us not have a king. Let's support their efforts. I mean, because we can sit here and play dumb like we want to, but that's the end game, y'all. That's the end game. And instead of green, he gonna be wearing orange, or he gonna be orange. So if that's what you want, then by all means, continue to do nothing. I'm just saying, man. I mean, it sting a little bit, y'all. It sting a little bit. But I mean, what do you expect? You know what I'm saying? For us to do? What do you expect to happen? Say orange jumpsuit and shackles. Yes, please. And in order to do that, gotta get him out of office. His cronies are talking to reporters and talking about a third term like that shit's legal. I mean, just casually said it. I heard O'Bannon just, oh yeah, when Trump gets that third term in 28. I am going to drop a jewel, y'all. And it shouldn't be anything that y'all don't know, understand, or ain't savvy about. If Donald Trump is in office in 2028, and you can quote me, he will be the last president to ever sit in that office. That might be an extreme take, but show me something to say I'm wrong. What we talking about over here? That's why I keep telling young progressives to get off their ass and primary these establishment clowns. Me personally, come on, yo. I'm tired of old ass white men. I am tired. Can we get a real representation of the people that are in America in our Congress? See what I'm saying? Ooh, Paul Martin said the punk ass corporate media won't even bring up the old AF thing if Biden was too old. Yeah. This is the same president that thought a dementia test was an IQ test and bragged about getting a really high score. That is who you got with his finger on the button. And now we talking about getting back into nuclear arms again? For what? We already have enough nuclear weapons on this planet now to obliterate it 1,000 times over. Why do we need to start making more? That means money that you and I have earned will go towards that. Ooh, Kamoya said he have a dirt nap before a third term. Yeah, well, I mean, hey, if that's, yeah, oof, oh boy, yeah. My channel's already being suppressed. I don't want to sound like I'm plotting against the president. They gonna shut my shit off. That guy's really pushing it over there. That Be Real with T Real guy. I think he's subversive. We need to look into him. Nah, y'all need to look in nothing over here, partner. Y'all need to look in nothing over here. I'm minding my business. You feel me? Minding my business. But look here, y'all. I said that I wasn't. Okay, hang on. He is making too many deadly enemies right now, including the cartels. Hey, what Drago say in Rocky 4? If he dies, he dies. I ain't wishing nothing on him, but if that happens, it happens. Paul Martin say, the thing I don't get is why the folks behind Lincoln Project have stones to clown LaOrange, but not back a contender to challenge him. Stop making so much sense, Paul Martin. Now, what I was getting ready to say was, I know I was not going to talk about football, but real briefly, where are all of those referee calls that everybody claimed Patrick Mahomes get? Okay, I said long time ago that is a privilege afforded not to Patrick Mahomes, but to the team that is the Super Bowl champions. I ain't got no shade for the Philadelphia Eagles other than I want my team to meet them in the Super Bowl again and kick their ass. A lot of false starts in Philly that don't get called. I'm gonna just put that out there. And if anybody want to challenge me on it, I can put some videos up. I don't want to be petty like that, but let's just agree and agree. I don't think what the Chiefs are doing now has anything to do with the favor of the refs. You don't beat people's ass by 2 scores and 3 scores with the favor of the refs. I mean, you can, but if you beating up on folks like that, what do you need the refs for? Right? And you ain't hearing all that BS because that isn't what it was. That's all I wanted to say. Okay. Oh, we're above 500 now. Okay. 2 games above to be exact. So what's the excuses now? What's the excuses now? Okay. Detroit beat them like they stole something. Washington beat them like they stole something. Baltimore, no shade, Grand Madam, beat them like they stole something. And the 2 losses we did have by 1 effing score. Okay? So, as I have always told people for the past 7 years, AFC Championship in some way, shape, or form is coming through Kansas City. No, I ain't stutter when I said that shit. It's going to come through Kansas City. And if it don't, I don't know, maybe I'll wear the jersey of whatever team does go to the Super Bowl. How about that? But if it ain't nothing but a wild card, they're gonna be in the they're gonna be in the playoff picture. Period. So there. How about that? And if you want to put some money on it, holler at your boy. What we talking about now? You say KC beat them like they owed y'all money. Hey, and them was the kind of games I was wanting to see because we always had, well, not the receivers, but now that we got the receivers to do that, now y'all seeing. You know what I'm saying? Average points we putting up is 27. That's the average. So, you know, let's talk about what the Chiefs doing versus what they ain't doing. Battle tested, you damn skippy they are. seven AFC titles, or AFC West, excuse me. Yeah, bro. We on the come up, and that's that's all I wanted to point out. That's all I wanted to point out. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to brag or throw nothing up in nobody's face or be like F your team or nothing like that. Just 2 games and everybody had them written off. I'm not gonna make the playoffs. And I'm like, that's why the Stephen A. Smiths of the world and the Manti Te'os and Jamie Erdals and Jason Whitlock's opinions, you know the rest. You know the rest. I ain't even got to go there with it. And that's what it is. That bottom line. That don't play with me. Stop playing with me. What make you think, we was gonna sit around and just let, you know what I'm saying, the entire NFL just kind of walk on us. Nah, y'all ain't finna see no stuff like that. What Paul Martin? Just as long as Lions don't make Super Bowl, I don't care if their GM is a brother. Why you don't want the Lions in the Super Bowl, Paul Martin? Why you don't? Hey, Philly, Detroit, I don't care. Bring whoever coming. Paul Martin or me, Kamoyo? F yo couch. Oh, haterade, huh? Sipping sipping on some hater. Real quick. When we talking about doing this, cause I asked last week, if y'all wanted to do an Avengers Earth's Mightiest watch party, and me, yeah, I'm saying F they couch. If y'all talk about coming over here and messing up what's mine, it's F your couch all day. But back to Avengers Earth's Mightiest. When are we talking about doing this? I mean, do we want to do it sooner than later? Or, because I ain't going to be doing no watch party, and it's only 5 people, 10 people up in there. If y'all want to do a watch party, y'all better pull up. That's all I'm saying. I'll watch it by myself. I can watch it by myself. I can just watch it by myself. If ain't nobody gonna watch it with, what the hell am I doing? Kamoyo, well, we know one person to be there. Cause I got the Blu-ray, and the Blu-ray has that option, and I much rather do it like that than try to go through who to do what. Cause I'm not effing with Joel. Anyways, really great show. Why couldn't people have stuck to that formula? You know what I mean? That I could go through that cartoon episode by episode and show what was canonically wrong, but a strange thing happened. When I was trying to locate all of the things that were canonically wrong, I saw what fit for the current times. You see what I'm saying? We had the original members. You know what I'm saying? We had Iron Man, we had Thor, we had Henry Pym and Janet Van Dyne, and the Hulk. Now, they didn't fight Loki in their first outing, but they definitely had an extremely formidable opponent in Graviton. Graviton's a whole problem for a gang of anybody. I think Graviton will give the Justice League a hard time. I think Graviton will give the X-Men a hard time. I think Graviton will give the Justice Society a hard time. You know what I'm saying? So that was a good villain. I mean, and then from there, they didn't waste no time bringing Captain America into the fold. Captain America was not a member of the Avengers when they were originally founded. Now, the way that came about combined elements of the cinematic universe and the comic universe, which is what you should do to have an optimally good product. But, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. And then we moved on to the Masters of Evil, which canonically, if we skip over the Space Phantom, Namor, and the Lava Men, then yes, canonically, the Masters of Evil are what comes next. And you need a more powerful iteration of the Masters of Evil because you have a more powerful iteration of the Avengers at that time. Because see, I don't know if everybody know the history. The Incredible Hulk quit the Avengers in issue number 2. And we didn't see the Incredible Hulk in the Avengers again till Al Ewing, Kurt Busiek, some shit like that. I mean, long, good 20, 30 years, 20, 30, 20, 60, 70, 89. Yeah, 30 years before we saw the Hulk in the Avengers again. So that was different and welcome. You know, we got Hawkeye. We didn't get the Kooky Quartet. That would have been nice to see in Avengers. But you kind of got it in a different way with Earth's Mightiest. You got a depowered, weaker lineup of Avengers, but they brought everybody back together. We gonna try to do a watch party on this, Grand Madam. Avengers, Earth's Mightiest. And I was just talking about the compare and contrast to canon in the cartoon versus actual canon. Lot of events that happened in the comics that were treated fairly respectful. You know what I mean? For the version that it was. Let's see, that first season after the Masters of Evil, we kind of went on a tangent with we skipped over like what 20, 30 issues of Avengers comics and went straight to when Black Panther joins. And then the way we got him joining the Avengers, canonically, that was not how he joined the Avengers, but arguably the way he joined the Avengers in Earth's Mightiest Heroes is better than how he joined Earth's Mightiest Heroes in the comics. I mean, in the comics, he got more shine, but in the cartoon, he was more badass. After he joined, then we had, what was it? Gamma World. Yeah, because the Incredible Hulk was, yeah, we had Gamma World, and we had the leader, and everybody was turning into Gamma stuff. And hey, Doc Samson popped up edgewise. You know what I mean? So very respectful canon, putting in characters when you can put in characters. We even saw Spider-Man on Earth's Mightiest. We even saw Power Man and Iron Fist on Earth's Mightiest. We saw Wolverine. We saw the Fantastic Four on Earth's Mightiest. They didn't chinks around the fact that the Avengers share a universe with a lot of other superheroes. So I think that is something that if I put an edutainment type element in it, this could be a really enjoyable thing, for us to do. So, rock with me, nation. What say you? Shall we implement this ASAP? Or do y'all just want to spin y'all wheels on it? Let me see. Paul Martin asks, how did it compare to Justice League cartoons? I have only seen a few posts of Avengers cartoon. Okay, well, from the get-go, Avengers ran longer than Justice League, I want to say, because Justice League and Justice League Unlimited combined only ran for a total of 5 seasons. Yeah, I think 5 seasons. Whereas Avengers and Avengers Assemble, when you combine those, I think you got about a good, what, 6, 7? But yeah, it ran for longer. Better? Hey, dog. Dwayne McDuffie was on Justice League. Dwayne McDuffie was on Justice League. That's all I'm saying. Dwayne McDuffie was one of the creatives behind Justice League. I know Bruce Timm and all of them, but Dwayne McDuffie was one of the creative minds behind Justice League. That's all I'm saying. So you draw your conclusions there. No, Paul Martin, Monica Rambeau was not on, but like I said, you did get Black Panther and you did get Luke Cage. So kind of winning. You got to see an iteration of the new Avengers. All right, LJ Panther. Good afternoon, evening, sir. How you doing? How you doing? What Kamoyo say? I'm ready. Y'all need this in your life, folks. Yeah, because Paul Martin up in here asking questions, and he ain't never even seen it or not watched it in its entirety. Paul Martin, it is a fantastic show. Better than Justice League, maybe Justice League, in my opinion, but not Justice League Unlimited. Because Justice League Unlimited was Justice League on steroids, and they put the wheels on it. So yeah, as much as I, in the past have tended to prefer Marvel over DC, they be doing it. DC be getting them on the animated tip. It is what it is. This was more canonic, but Justice League was just busting you across the head with canon that you weren't expecting. You know what I mean? Because that first Justice League Unlimited joint, where Batman and Wonder Woman are like they bring in Superman something for his birthday, and Mongol done gave him this the black, what was it called? The black something, but it was on his chest, and it had him like in this state where he was like in this fantasy world where he had a son and everything was perfect and all of this, but it wasn't real, and they was trying to get him to fight it. And Mongo was in there fighting Wonder Woman, and Batman was trying to get the thing off of Superman and got it on himself. So it was that's how he started. And then they just, man. I mean, it had everything. It had humor. The only thing I was upset about, I never got, there were nods to Justice League International, but I never got a Guy Gardner, Batman, Shazam, Martian Manhunter, Rocket Red, Black Canary, Fire and Ice, Justice League International. You know what I'm saying? I would have loved if they did that on the Justice League show. That's the only thing I think they didn't do. But that would have been great to see. And cameos, it was like tons of cameos by people everywhere. They even gave props to the Legion of Superheroes. You know what I'm saying? So didn't have Karate Kid, but all the Legionnaires that you like showed up in this episode. So I'm saying, yeah, it was. When is the showing? That's what I was trying to find out. What will work for y'all? So if we want to do a showing, say we want to start maybe in like 2 weeks, because I want to get time to prepare for it and make sure it works and everything's good, because I'm going to have to test first. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to just go out there and we be looking goofy. And I want to make sure, my internet's able to push it, because I don't want it freezing at a crucial point and everybody get mad and leave out of it. So I want to make sure everything's everything. Yes, that was the name of that episode. And I loved, what was it called? Kid Stuff, where Mordred gets the charm of first making and turns everybody, well, he doesn't turn them, but everybody in the world who's younger than him are all the people that's left on Earth. Everybody else gets sent to limbo. And Morgan Le Fay puts a spell on Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and John Stewart and turns them into kids, and they go back to Earth to deal with Mordred. And them as kids, hilarious. Oh my goodness. It's just like the writing. Oh my God. So good. So good. A child Wonder Woman trying to decide, oh, let's go over here. She trying to decide, do I want to go with Bruce or do I want to go with Clark? Well, Clark fries, so I should go with Clark. But no, Bruce doesn't, so I'll stay with him. You know what I'm saying? So it was just that kind of stuff that was just great. Just, I mean, the writing was amazing on Justice League International, Unlimited. But yeah. So watch show, and if we get through both seasons of this, maybe we might be able to, you know what I'm saying, jump into some Avengers Assemble. You know what I'm saying? Because that's when they updated it and made it try to look more cinematic. They started leaning more towards the cinematic than, you know, pulling. But Canon was still nice. You know what I'm saying? You still got stuff like Squadron Sinister, Moon Knight pulled up. And of course, you know, they had to redo the Black Panther, and you know, he catching Captain America's shield in midair, and like, I'm taking this with me because it belongs to Wakanda. So good stuff. Very good stuff in Avengers Assemble. But that is what that is the movement. That is what we're gonna do. That is what we're gonna make happen. Y'all, I believe I know what I'm gonna do. I know what I'm getting ready to do. Y'all, before we part tonight, we're going to do a gauntlet. And I will have another gauntlet up and ready tomorrow. But today, we're going to do a gauntlet. Where did I put that thing? Oh, my goodness. I didn't pull it down. Dagnabbit. I need to pull it down. My bad. I'll pull it down. That is true, Paul Martin. Falcon was indeed a techie in Avengers Assemble. And his mother brought the Avengers cookies. There it is. There it is. Okay. Guys, how do y'all feel about a Superman gauntlet? Ain't nobody, what y'all, somebody saying nothing? What are we feeling? Yes? No? Maybe so? All right, I tell you what. Let's do it like this. We're not just going to do any Superman gauntlet. We're going to do a Superman gauntlet. Nah, not Superman and his knockoffs. How about not just any Superman? How about that? How about we do a particular Superman? We're going to pit Calvin Ellis Superman against a gauntlet of really tough Marvel opposition, or at least what I think is really tough Marvel opposition. Kamalio say, let's do it. Well, here it is. Boom. There you go. There is what Calvin Ellis is going to have to deal with going up against Marvel. All right. He starts with Champion. Now, Champion's a whole dog, but he was more of a dog when he had the Power Stone. He's still 100-ton range without the Power Stone, but I feel like with powerhouses, he gonna get got now. Back in the day when he debuted, maybe he might have had more of a chance. But I feel like Trico Slatteris, he getting got. And I would even say minimal difficulty, because Calvin Ellis Superman is he's a boxer. So on to Gorr, the God Butcher. Now, again, not that blood and thunder BS. We're talking for real Gorr. I'm God killing Gorr. What about like about 80% of his power comes from the all black Necro Sword? Pretty much, or damn near everything comes from that Necro Sword. So would the trick be separating him from the Necro Sword and then beating his tail? How difficult would that be to do? Would it be difficult for Cal L? Or would he struggle with Gorr, the God Butcher? I don't think he would struggle with Gorr, the God Butcher. Thoughts? Comments? We say Calvin won't play with Gorr. It ends quick. No chit chat. Yeah, because given time, he might even find a way to get at Superman. So if he takes care of him quick, it'll be low diff. But if he dallies around and gives him time to figure things out, maybe mid to high difficulty. Oh, you think he beats Juggy quick? Well, a Superman what? Gauntlet, Grand Madam. Gauntlet. If you need me to explain, I'll explain at the end. But right now, he beats Juggy quick. Well, here's the thing. It's a gauntlet, but because it's Superman, he's got superhuman stamina. We talking about a guy who can lift quintillions of tons. So unless, and this is what I say about Juggernaut, unless Cyttorak wants Cain Marko to win this fight, because he can literally keep being fed power by Cyttorak if Cyttorak wants him, you know what I'm saying, to be more powerful. You know what I'm saying? Or, Superman got the stamina. Cal has the stamina and the strength to go with him. But if that fight gets extended, I think Cal gets stronger than the Juggernaut, because if they out in the sun, What Juggernaut gonna do? And it's Superman. He doesn't necessarily have to incapacitate the Juggernaut to defeat him. He can pick the Juggernaut up and throw his ass into orbit. I don't know why people always feel like you got to beat somebody into the ground unconscious to beat him. He's faster. He's way faster. And what's to stop him from yoking Kane up and just like he did General Zod in Superman 2 and just instead of throwing him into a Pepsi sign, throw his ass to the moon? What would stop that? Nothing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, unless the battle gets extended, you know, maybe Superman takes a shot or two from Kane and says, he's pretty tough. I got to end this quick. So Cal wins low to mid difficulty. Now, Sentry, a Superman knockoff. Wait a minute, what are we saying here? Superman wouldn't do what, LJ? Bear in mind, we talk about Calvin Ellis Superman, not Kal-El. And throwing the Juggernaut out in space would not kill him. Battlefield removal does not kill people, or if that's what you was talking about. Battlefield removal is precisely that. We fight in one place and you got removed to another place, whether that be by teleportation, magic, or me just socking your ass and sending you there. So, and I have actually seen Superman comic books where the Prime Earth Superman, in order to defeat Solomon Grundy one time, he snatched Solomon Grundy up and put his ass on the moon because Solomon Grundy didn't want to be bothered by anybody. You know? So now, unless we got more to say about Juggernaut, I'm moving on to Sentry. Sentry, again, same as with these other people who can become a problem over time, especially Sentry. Well, I like that you said that. Time out. Punching at Juggernaut, he will definitely be able to ascertain that the man has a force field around him. If he's got a force field around him, I mean, that's not a reasonable assumption. If you want to survive, keep your force field up. That's my logic on it anyway. I'm not murdering him. You murdering yourself if you don't keep your force field up. But we both know Juggernaut does not have the need to eat or breathe anymore. Would he know if Jugs could survive? What's more important, the people surviving or him surviving? And even if he does throw him in space, again, he's Superman. He's fast enough to get him if he feel like he's dying. You know what I'm saying? So Superman here. Anyway, why couldn't he defeat the Sentry before he voided out? And if he does void out, is Robert Reynolds where he stops? Is that what we're saying? Yes, no, maybe so. Talk to me. Meanwhile, Well, a gauntlet actually is more of a, yeah, I guess it kind of could be playoffs. But if he loses, nah, we ain't getting into all of the. If he loses, Sentry's not going to go fight Mangog. If Superman loses to Sentry, that's the end of the gauntlet. Mangog just get to sit back and go, oh, well, I didn't get a chance to beat on nobody. Oh, I'm angry. I'm going to just beat on the ground. But, so yeah, that's the only major difference. When I was in martial arts and we did gauntlets, that's how gauntlets work. The gauntlet worked like this. I started out fighting 2 white belts. Okay, if I'm going for like my purple belt or a blue belt or a green belt or something like that, I start out fighting 2 white belts. If I could beat 2 white belts, then I go on to 1 orange belt. If I could beat 1 orange belt, then I go on to 1 blue. No, green. No, blue's before green. Blue belt. And so forth. So if you can't get up to the belt that you were going for, that's fine. But there's other criteria that determines whether or not you get the belt. Anyway. So, well, I was explaining it for the benefit of Grand Madam and LJ, because LJ said in a statement that if Superman beats one guy, he goes to the next dude. If not, the winner advances. No, the winner doesn't advance. The winner just wins because it's a gauntlet. That's where it differs, quote unquote, in a playoff. You're trying to clear the board, is what you're trying to do, not give another person a chance to do it. They just there to fight you. Yes, sir. Yes, 100 bags full. That is exactly it, Mr. Panther brother. Okay, but let's say he does beat Sentry. Does he beat Sentry medium difficulty? Or I guess the question I'm asking, in a fight with Bob Reynolds, is it going to drain a significant amount of solar energy out of him? See what I'm saying? Because if you took the first 2 fairly easy and BFR the third one, this one, he should have a pretty fair amount of stamina to bang on. You know what I'm saying? Which one should be a drag out? With Sentry or Mangog? And if y'all need me to give you some background on Mangog, I can totally do that. Okay? Bob Reynolds, aka the Sentry, is said to have, what is it? The power of 1 billion exploding suns? 1 billion exploding suns. Maybe. And this is just me. Y'all tell me if I'm wrong or if I'm right. Sentry is said to have the power of 1 billion or 1 million. And not that it matters, but exploding suns are more powerful than people, because Mangog is said to possess the strength of 1 billion beings. Has the Sentry been able to simultaneously fight both Thor and his father? Mangog did more than once. So, yeah, I think Mangog is where he needs to be. Mangog could probably put hands on Sentry if they came together. Let's see. Let's talk about Mangog. Superhuman strength. His strength exceeds Thor's strength, enabling him to defeat multiple storm giants with a single punch and shatter the Rainbow Bridge. So, what do we think about that? And he's immortal. And he has energy absorption. And when he absorbs that energy, it makes him stronger. He has magic manipulation. He can project energy. He can shapeshift. I remember I read a comic book where Mangog was he shapeshifted into Odin. And Thor thought he was Odin, and Odin was doing like a-hole stuff and blasting his vizier and smacking Sif and all that kind of stuff. And Thor was like, oh, nah, man, you can't be my daddy. And it turned out, he transformed into Mangog. So I'm like, oh, I didn't know Mangog could do that. Well, yeah, we have seen Bob do some things, but Bob comes from the era of where you're expected to be OP. You know what I mean? OP isn't OP when everybody is OP. You feel me? So Mangog came around like in the 60s. And the stuff he was doing was like, oh my gosh, he just picked up the Odin sword. Oh, he just shattered the Rainbow Bridge. Oh, he's smacking Thor and Odin around at the same time. Now, if I ask you to rip off a list of people who could do the same thing as Mangog, you could probably name me about 10, 15 characters. Marvel, DC, Image, freaking you know what I'm saying? The Invincible universe alone, I bet it's like 3-4 mugs that could go with them. So, you know what I mean? It's subjective, I guess is what I want to say. It's subjective. And so if we scale Mangog to the current, he should be whooping Sentry's ass quickly. You know what I'm saying? So that just is what it is. So if Sentry does not beat Cal, he runs the gauntlet or gets stopped by Mangog. But then again, Superman. He's as strong as he needs to be, according to most writers. I will have another gauntlet for you tomorrow night when we Friday vibing. So y'all get ready for that one. Did y'all have fun with the Black Canary one last week? I will do something. What do y'all want to see? What do y'all want to see a gauntlet on? What character do you want to see run a gauntlet, and who do you want to see that character run a gauntlet through? There, I'm waiting. Anybody? Come on, give me a gauntlet. Come on, give me a gauntlet. Any gauntlet. We'll work it out. We'll work it out, y'all. I promise. Don't be bashful. Come and talk to me. I really want to see you. Can I talk to you? Ooh, that was a sour note. Anyway. Batman. I knew somebody was going to bring up Batman. Batman versus Marvel Street Heroes. Potential. Siler of Heroes versus Marvel and DC hero teams. Damn. We gonna run Siler through teams? I don't think Siler gonna get through a team. I'm thinking real hard. Would a good gauntlet be Aquaman facing Namor's foes, or Namor facing Aquaman's foes? Storm Shadow against street level Marvel heroes, or street level. Storm Shadow get drugged. Storm Shadow dope, but he ain't dope like that. He-Man versus characters from the Marvel Universe. What about that one? Kamoyo thinks Namor running a gauntlet with Aquaman foes would be decent. What say you, Rock With Me Nation? Because ain't no thing but chicken wing to me. I can crank that joke out super duper quick. Yeah, because I could think right off top. Oh, wait a minute. Namor? Ooh. Namor and Ocean Master. Namor and Ocean Master's a fight. Because Aquaman and Ocean Master's a fight. But Shredder versus ninjas from other canons. Why you playing with me? You know I know a shit ton of ninjas. He gonna watch Ocean Master with the trident? They sort of got them ninja boys a little supernatural. Storm Shadow would be all right. Yeah, but I ain't saying Storm Shadow would be facing the hand. What if Storm Shadow's facing Shang-Chi or Iron Fist? Everybody in the Marvel universe can squab. They got hands. And in DC, arguably, he might be even worse off in DC. You know what I'm saying? Because they like Batman and Nightwing and Lady Shiva and Cassandra Cain. Yeah, he might get his ass whooped in the DC universe. I 100% identified what you was. Yeah. Oh, you know he got to be in there. He's the original super ninja. Ghost from Power versus other crime bosses. Put a pin in that. I must pour my logic and thought process out on that one and see what I come up with. Kamayo really got me leaning towards some ninja stuff because I like ninja stuff. But LJ, I ain't seen. Oh, Namor is going. Okay. Well. Did you come up with anything, LJ? Because I'm waiting, y'all. Man, he Kamayo going off. Y'all like I do. Hey, Paul Martin, who won that Ravens and Dolphins game, or is it still going on right now? Say crying ghost is well, yeah, I'm depending on who you put Ghost against, I don't think he gonna make it through that gauntlet. Because there are people way nastier than Ghost. Way nastier. We talking about crime bosses, and you know, Black Mask. Or are we talking about like real life crime bosses from other shows? Wilson Fisk. Hell, Cornell Cottonmouth is finna be a problem for Ghost. Okay, I see what you're saying. Sopranos, Fisk, Reddington. Okay. All right. That might be a little more up his alley. Ravens in a blowout. Yeah. Ravens needed to win. If they have any hopes of even being in the playoffs, they need to win every single game going forward. Okay, well, I'm leaning towards the Ninjas. Now I've got to determine who Shredder. So we're gonna put Shredder against Ninjas. Ooh, I think Shredder might get toe up because damn near every ninja I can think of, with the possible exception of Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes, is gonna tear Shredder's ass up. I mean, because like LJ pointed out, most of the ninja I could think of, they got magic too. I mean, you know, even like Ninja Gaiden, Ryu Hayabusa, he got magic. Taki got magic. Sub-Zero. I mean, it ain't magic, but Sub-Zero, you know what I mean? Scorpion. Shredder ain't got nothing for none of them. You a fool. Al Bundy versus other sitcom dads. Al Bundy, because Ed O'Neill in real life is a black belt in jiu-jitsu. Go figure. Al Bundy sitting there with his hand in his pants, but if he got to get up and put your ass in a rear naked choke, he can do that. Pick a ninja. Okay. A ninja that can handle it. Strider. Strider. That's it. We're going to have a Strider gauntlet. Everybody remember Strider? Y'all remember Strider. Not Strider from Lord of the Rings. I'm talking about Strider, the ninja from the video game. Yes, he was a ninja. Remember? He had a scarf around his face, covering up his features. Had a sword on his back. That he swing. Y'all remember Strider? Yeah, it's going to be Strider. As spectacular as that sounds, Theo, Al Bundy gonna need 4 more people in there to make that a gauntlet, or 4 more beings to make that a gauntlet. And if we think of any cartoon characters, like cartoon characters, then you got to factor in some stuff called Toon Force. people like Bugs Bunny and Woody Woodpecker and folks like that who can take catastrophic physical damage and walk away from that shit. So yeah, I don't like to get into all of that. Okay, Ninja Gauntlet will be up in Friday Vibing, and I expect all of y'all to be there in Friday vibing with me. Look here, y'all. I am getting ready to finish up my Halloween action figure videos so I can have them to put up on Halloween, which is, oh my goodness, tomorrow. Theo, since you in here, what you got planned for the special Be Real with D Real and Theo B Friday Vibing show? Did I put him on the spot, y'all? Nah. Theo B knows how to think on his toes. He gonna figure it out. Figure it out, my G. What you want to do? What you want to do? November is coming, and November is known as No Shave November. So if you see me starting to get a little bit of, on the sides and whatnot, it's just me getting my stuff ready for November. Don't trip. No shade. No shade. How come this guy can't? Need to lift that shit. Okay. Well, y'all, that is all the news that is fit to print tonight. Look here. I need y'all to pull up same real time, same real channel tomorrow night for Friday Vibing with myself and Theo B. Well, we know there's going to be a gauntlet, but what else is there going to be? You're going to have to tune in to find out, player. Bring what you drink. Bring what you smoke. Bring your imagination. We're going to be in this situation. Now, how many y'all pulling up? We're going to see. We're going to see how many y'all pull up. Say you go full werewolf in November, Kamoya. Nah, I don't know if I go full werewolf, but I get pretty fuzzy. Look here, y'all. That is it for Thursday's live. But fret not, we'll be coming at you in, I don't know, about 24 hours or so. Until then, y'all be good. Y'all be good to each other.